The best performers from the second half of the 2023 fantasy season right now on FFT and 5. And what's up, everybody? Adam and Jamie here. So, Jamie, we just did a show about the best and worst second half performers. Let's do this one a little bit differently here. From weeks 10 through 18, I'm going to give you the top 5. We'll do per game. Top 5 quarterbacks per game from weeks 10 through 18, and we'll do running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. So here's the list, and you tell me what stands out. Number 1 per game from week 10 on, Dak Prescott, then Lamar Jackson, both of them over 27 points per game and 6 point per passing touchdown leagues, which is incredible. Josh Allen, 3, Joe Flacco, 4, Jordan Love, 5. What stands out to you?
Jordan Love. We have high expectations, I think, for Josh Allen. I think as the season was unfolding, you saw Dak Prescott perform at this level. And as we talked on the full length show, there's potential for him to do it again. Lamar Jackson's always going to be in that range when he's healthy. You expect him to do that. Flacco, you got to throw out just because of how his career is at this point. It was great, but not sustainable. Can Jordan Love do that again? And that's the fun part of it. We've talked a lot about his young receiving core. Can they develop and get better potentially? Can he continue to get better? And if he's in this range for a full season, he's going to be probably the best value at the position because he's going to get drafted right around 10th or later at quarterback this year.
All right, let's take a look at the running backs, the top 5 running backs per game from weeks 10 through 18. Kyren Williams won at 24 points per game.
Yeah, you could stop. That's the guy that stands out.
I'll read the other 5, though. The other 4 anyway. McCaffrey, 2, just behind him. Breece Hall, 3. This is PPR, by the way. So Breece Hall had all those catches. Isaiah Pacheco, 4, and Jonathan Taylor, 5. But Kyren Williams, number 1.
Yeah, it's going to be probably the biggest storyline maybe for the first round. Is he a first rounder? Can he do it again? I know you're already skeptical based on one of the previous shows that we did. I just finished writing for the end of last week, so it's on the site already on CBSSports.com. After speaking to Kyren Williams and Puka Nacua, what's next for them in 2024? And for Williams, I believe he's one of 4 running backs, certainly 3, with 200 plus carries for Sean McVay since he's been there. So Todd Gurley did it for 3 seasons. It's 3 running backs. Sony Michel did it 1 season, and now Kyren. And so Cam Akers never had a 200 carry season there. So can Kyren sort of be closer to what Todd Gurley was? Not with the same ceiling because he's not that type of player, but in terms of fantasy production, as opposed to the other guys there. And it's kind of been Sean McVay's system. When he's had a guy, he's leaned on a guy. And so is he this guy for them? So the offseason will be telling, what they do in the draft, what they do in free agency. Is they just, sort of run it back with Ronnie Rivers and the guys behind him. They bring back Darrell Henderson, something like that, Royce Freeman. But if Kyren is locked into this role, then he should be a first round pick.
All right, let's take a look at the wide receivers now from weeks 10 on per game. Well, Dak Prescott was QB1, so CeeDee Lamb is wide receiver 1. 27.2 points per game. Insane. Keenan Allen was number 2 at 22.9 points per game. It's way behind CeeDee Lamb.
Tyreek, how many games did he play, though?
Well, it's per game. So,
how
many games? Probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, he missed a lot of time.
Let's see.
He missed the last 5 games at least.
He played 5 games in that stretch. And then, one of those games was without Herbert. Herbert got hurt in that game. Okay, anyway, Lamb, Allen, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nico Collins.
Yeah, I mean, the last guy is the one that stands out. And what can Nico do? Because of a portion of this, I believe Tank Dell was hurt in week 11 or 12. A portion of this is what will happen when Tank Dell's back, and can CJ Stroud do it again? I think, based on our shows, and I'm certainly in this camp, you believe in Nico Collins. He was somebody that we all kind of hyped up to certain degrees last year. For me, he was my favorite third-year breakout receiver because I like to track third-year receivers. And so can he continue to, stay on this trajectory and build off the season that he had? So you're not going to draft him as a top 5 guy, but he's a borderline top 12 guy. And I think we'll see him come off as early as round 3 in the majority of drafts.
Okay, and at tight end, your top 5 from weeks 10 through 18, Njoku, Ingram, McBride, Hawkinson, Laporta, which is weird because I thought Njoku was number 2 and Ingram was number 1. But Njoku 1, Ingram 2, McBride, Hawkinson, Laporta.
All right, so the full-length show is a failure.
Yeah, total failure.
For me, it's McBride. If I recall correctly, from the time that Zach Ertz left, so it's a little bit longer than the stretch, when he got hurt, excuse me, before he was released, 14.6 PPR points per game for McBride from the time he became tight end 1 for the Cardinals, and that's not including only games with Kyler Murray. So if you just do that and Azer stat that by comparing him in that stretch to the points per game for the season, he would be number 1. 14.1 was the number 1 tight end for the season, was a tie between TJ Hawkinson and Travis Kelce. So if McBride does not get significant competition, which we talked a lot about, the 4th overall pick in the NFL draft is an ideal landing spot for Marvin Harrison. But also, what do they do in free agency? McBride's going to be in the discussion to be, I think, as high as tight end 1 in PPR. He won't get drafted that way, but he'll be in the conversation. But certainly, as we talked on the full-length show, Tara Roberts gave her top 4. I agree. McBride is in that top 4 along with Kelce, Laporta, and Andrews, whatever order you have them. For me, McBride is 3, and I'm very excited about him next season.
Thank you very much, Jamie Eisenberg. Thank you all for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on Fantasy Football Today in 5.